people of color, like on the mainland, we're in a minority. Here in Hawaii, we were in a majority. And so I don't think we sense much prejudice for the most part compared to those on the mainland. He opened up his own barber shop on Hotel Street near the corner of Nu'uanu and Hotel. It's called the Honolulu Barber Shop. They had about 2 or 3 chairs. I saw a picture, a little black and white picture. And there'd be a shoe shine guy out in front. And his wife, my grandma, I guess also worked there. And then so my dad was born in 1906. And he was kind of a mechanical minded. He had a good head for automobile mechanics. And he went to McKinley High School. When he graduated, it would be about 1923 or so. He went to Detroit to study auto repair. I mean, for a young kid, a Japanese boy in 1923 to take the whatever steamer ship or whatever to go to California, and then to take whatever it is, a Greyhound bus or a train all the way into Detroit at that young age, you know, was quite something. And then so he learned how to repair cars and engines, and he got a job in Gallup, New Mexico. He played clarinet and saxophone in dance bands with names like the Swing Dragons. I remember that was one name of the band. They had the bandstand, you know, the music stand had SD in front of it, Swing Dragon. He played with Gabe's father. Gabe Balthazar's. There's a picture of my dad sitting down playing clarinet with Gabe's father standing up taking a clarinet solo. I knew Gabe after he came back from Kenton, when he came back to live here.
Oh, Gabe, what about doing Aloha Oi, you know, like a jazz rendition of Aloha Oi?
That rendition?
Yeah.
Well, I never done that.
No, you never? Oh, okay.
But I can try.
Yeah, just see what would come up. You know, when you were growing up.
Discrimination?
Yeah.
Oh man, I got stories.
This story pays tribute to the World War II veterans of the Asian community. They helped save our country and broke down the wall of prejudice and discrimination.
How much did all this cost, this memorial?
Huh?
How much did the memorial cost? How much money did they have to raise?
Over a couple of millions.
I graduated high school in 1940, Roosevelt High School, Los Angeles. At that time, there were no Asian American teachers.
In jazz, there is freedom.
My relationship with Kobe Narita goes back to around 59, 60.
Kobe Narita is an angel.
Got one when I was in the service too. And anytime I tell that one, people say, oh, it's unbelievable. I say, yeah, well, I'm telling you, it's the damn truth. And then at the wedding itself, it was Kenny Burrell, who was a good friend of mine, and he called and he says, are you coming to my gig in San Francisco? I said, I'm not going to be able to make it. He said, how come? I said, I'm getting married. He says, what? Geez, I got to go back down to Hollywood. When is this? Sunday. He says, I'm going to miss that. And he calls me on Saturday. He says, I made other arrangements. He says, I'm going to be here, and I want to play for you guys at your wedding. I said, wow.
Oh, what a great gift.
Yeah, and so Woody's band was for the reception. And the guy says, gee, you speak really good American. Oh, man, I thought, Jesus Christ. But you find people like that.
So,
he says, I never heard a Chinese on a jazz radio.
Oh.
I said, probably at this point in time, I said, I'm probably the only one in the country.
Mm-hmm.
1 year training, see? 1 year draftee. So we spend our 1 year and then we get out again. I used to work for the plantation.
My dad was a veteran of World War II, but he never talked about the war.
Asian families in particular never like to talk about bad things that happen.
Well, yeah, it's just the Asian way is like that's the way life is, and deal with it.
Don't say anything. That's my family's thing. I always joke with my mother. You know what happened? Da, 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 da. But don't say anything.
Some Americans seeking a new life came from China and Japan, but to gain their equal rights, they lost their freedom by being the wrong color.
Why my dad was very much infatuated with me. So this picture was shot either after or a day or two after their wedding. Mom, do you remember? This was shot the day of the wedding or after? After the wedding. So that's in Tokyo. Japan is primarily the main supporters of jazz. Part of that, I think, is because of the relationship, the historical relationship between Japan and America. American values, American culture was highly valued before the war, even before the war. So, jazz was already popular in Japan in the 30s. So I think that plays an important role.
So were you at a club playing and she showed up?
No, we met in New York.
Yeah.
We met in New York at mutual friends. She was on a vacation, and my friend, the bass player, said, let's go out to dinner. So we went out, and Junko was in that group. So we went to a jam session after. And
yeah, because see, Max Roach told me third stream, what they used to call third stream in the 50s, piss water.
Why?
Yeah, that's what you can call it, piss water.
Because they didn't respect it?
Well, he didn't like the whole idea that you...
putting a term to it, or putting a labeling to it?
Well, it's just a sort of European ownership of music, which kind of deflected from... In fact, the word jazz is the same thing. It deflects from the meaning and the legacy and contribution of African American people since slavery.
I did the booking and promotion of the music at Jazz at Pearls.
Was the Art Blake and the Jazz Messengers. And then especially I was so attracted that Wayne Shorter, I never forget, like still clearly remembers one song. I forgot the name of the song, but
Well, I guess I got interested in jazz at a very early age.
If I said Akira Tana, what would come to your mind?
Well, Akira Tana is one of the finest drummers I've ever played with.
you know, and we've played together quite a bit over the years, although we haven't played in quite some time now. But when he was living in New York, you know, actually did a tour in Japan with, I think it was Rufus Reid and Akira. It was Akira's tour, but we had a great time.